poems every kid should know. Wow, the budding moment. The arrow and the song. I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth. I knew not where, so for so swiftly it flew, the sight could not follow it in its flight. I breathed the song into the air. It fell to earth. I knew not where, for who has sight so keen and strong that it can follow the flight of song? Long, long afterward, in an oak, I found the arrow still and broke, and the song from beginning to end I found again in the heart of a friend, the baby. Nice shoon to hide her tiny thighs, nice stocking on her feet, her supple ankles white as snow or early blossom sweet, her simple dress of wrinkled pink, her double dimpled chin, her puckering lips and a balmy mouth with no end tooth within, hairpin see like a smith's scene, tall, gentle, liquid things. Her face is like an angel's face. We are glad she has now wings. Let dogs delight in bark and bite. Let dogs delight in bark and bite, for God had made them so. Let bears and lions growl and fight, for it's their nature too. But children, you should never let some angry passion rise. Your little hands were never made to tear each other's eyes. Little things, little drops of water, little grains of sand make the mighty ocean and the pleasant land. Thus the little minutes, humble though they be, make the mighty ages of eternity. He prayed best. Farewell, farewell, but this I tell to thee, thou wedding guest. He prayed well who loved well both man and bird and beast. He prayed well best who loved best all things both great and small. For the dear God who loved us, he made and loved all. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky when the glorious sun is set. When the grass with you is swayed, then you show your little light. Twinkle, twinkle, all the night. In the dark blue sky you keep, and often through my curtains peep, for you never shut your eyes till the sun is in the sky, as your bright and tiny spark guides the traveler in the dark, though I know not what you are. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, peep-a! The year at the spring, the days at the mornings at 7, the hillside you pearled, the larks on the wing that snelled on the thorn. God is in his heaven, all's right with the world. The days of the month, 30 days had September, April, June and November. February had 28 alone. All the rest have 31. Excepting leap year, that's the time when February's days are 29. True royalty? There was never a queen like Baucis from here to the wide world's end. But Baucis talked to a butterfly as you would talk to a friend. There was never a king like Solomon, not since the world began. But Solomon talked to a butterfly as a man would talk to a man. She was queen of the Sebeka and he was Asia's lord. But they both of them talked to butterflies when they took their walks abroad, playing Robinson Crusoe. Pussy cats sit by the fire and sing. Pussy can climb a tree or play with a silly old cock and string to amuse herself, not me, but I like Binky the dog because he knows how to behave. So Binky is the same as the first friend was, and I'm the man in the cave. Pussy will play man frightened till it's time to wait her paw and make her walk on the windowsill from the footprint Kosu saw. Then she fills her tail and mews and scratches and won't attend, but Blinky will play whatever I choose, and he's my true best friend. Pussy will rub my knees with her head, pretending she loves me hard, but the very minute I got to my bed, Pussy runs out in the yard, and there she sits till the morning light. But so I know it is only pretend, but Binky, he snores at my feet all night, and he's my finest friend, fastest friend. My shadow? I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He's very, very like me from the heels up to the head, and I see him jump up before me, and I jump into my bed. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, not like proper children, which is always very slow, for he sometimes shoots up like taller than the India rubber ball, and he sometimes gets so little that there is none of him at all. He hasn't got any notion of how children ought to play, and he can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close beside me. He's a coward, you can see. I think shame to a stick to nurse, he has that shadow stick to me. One morning very early before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup, but my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepy head, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. Little White Lily. Little White Lily sat by a stone drooping and waiting till the sun shone. Little White Lily, sunshine has faded. Little White Lily is lifting her head. Little White Lily said, it's good. Little White Lily's clothing and food. Little White Lily dressed like a bride, shining with whiteness and crowning beside. Little White Lily drooping with pain, waiting and waiting for them. Wait, rain. Little White Lily, hold her cup. Rain is fast falling and filling it up. Little White Lily said, good again when I am thirsty to have the nice rain. Now I am stronger, now I am cool. Heat cannot burn me, my veins are so full. Little White Lily smells very sweet, and her head sunshine rain at her feet. Thanks to the sunshine, thanks to the rain, Little White Lily is happy again. How the leaves came down. I'll tell you how the leaves came down. The great tree to his children said, you are getting sleepy, yellow and brown. Yes, very sleepy, little red. It is quite time to go to bed. Vexed, each silly, pouting leaf, let us a little longer stay. Dear Father Tree, behold our grief. It is such a very pleasant day. We do not want to go away. So for just one more merry day, to the great tree the leaflets clung, frolicked and danced, and had their way upon the autumn breeze swung. Whispering all their sports among, perhaps the great tree will forget, and let us stay until the spring, if we all beg and coax and fret. But the great tree did not do such a thing. He smiled to hear their whispering. Come, children, all to bed, he cried, and ere the leaves could urge their prayer, he shook his head, and far and wide, fluttering and rustling everywhere, down sped the leaflets through the air. I saw them on the ground, they lay, golden and red and huddled, soft, waiting till one from far away, white bedclothes heaped upon her arm should come to wrap them safe and warm. The great bed tree looked down and smiled. Good night, dear little leaves, he said, and from the below each sleepy child replied, good night, and murmured, it's so nice to go to bed. Willy Winky. Wee Willy Winky rinsed through the town, upstairs and downstairs, and in his nice gown, tiring at the window, crying at the lock, are the winds in their bed, so for it's now 10 o'clock. Hey, Willy Winky, are you coming back? The cat singing gay thrums into the sleeping hand, the dogs planted on the floor, and the disnaguy cheap. But here's a walk cry, laddie, that wanna fall asleep. Anything but sleep, ye rogue, glowing like a moon, rattling in an airing jug with an iron spoon, rumbling round about, rolling like a rock, sculling like a can of wood, walking, sleeping fork. Hey, Willy Winky, you went in the creed, rambling off the body's knees like a were eel, rugging at the cat's leg and reveling at the drums. Hey, Willy Winky, see there he comes, wearing is the mither mother that has a story ween, a wee stumpy stotsy that cannot run his lane, that has a battle a with sleep before he'll close an e, but a kiss from his rosy lips gets strength anew to me. The owl and the pussycat. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money, wrapped it in a 5-pound note. They all looked up to the moon above and sang to a small guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, what a beautiful pussy you are, pussy said to the old, you elegant fowl. How wonderful, sweet, you sing. Oh, let us be married. Too long we have tarried. But what shall we do for a ring? They sailed away for a year and a half day to the land where the bong tree grows, and there in the wood a piggy wig stood with a ring in the end of his nose with a ring at the end of his nose. Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring? Said the piggy. I will. So they took it away and were married next day. But the turkey who lives on the hill, they dined upon mince and slices of quince, which they ate while the crucible is born, and hand in hand on the edge of the sand they danced by the light of the moon they danced by the light of the moon. Winky, Blinkin, and the Nod. Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod one night sailed off in a wooden shoe, sailed on the river of crystal light in a sea of dew. Where are you going, and what do you wish? The old moon asked the three. We have come to fish for the herring fish that live in this beautiful sea. Nets of silver and gold have we, said Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod. The old moon laughed and sang its song as they rocked in the wooden shoe, and the wind that swayed them all night long ruffled the waves of dew. The little stars were the herring fish that lived in the beautiful sea. Now cast your nets whatever you wish, never afeard are we. So cried the stars to the fishermen three, Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod. All night long their nets they threw, and the stars in the twinkling foam. Then down like the skies came the wooden shoe, bringing the fishermen home. It was also pretty a sail, it seemed as if it could not be, and some folk thought it was a dream they had dreamed of sailing that beautiful sea. But I shall name you the fishermen three, Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod. Winkin and Blinkin are the two little eyes, and Nod is a little head, and the wooden shoe that sailed the skies is a wee one trundle bed. So shut your eyes while mother sings of wonderful sights that be, and you shall see the beautiful things as you rock on the misty sea. Where the old shoe rocked the fishermen three, Winkin, Blinkin, and Nod. The duel. The gingham dog and the calico cat side by side on the table sat. It was 12:30, and what do you think? Nor one nor the other had slept a wink. The old Dutch clock and the Chinese plate appeared to know as sure as fate that it was going to be a terrible spread. It wasn't here. I wasn't there. I simply stayed. That was told to me by the Chinese plate. The gingham dog went bow, 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 and the calico cat ran meow. The air was littered an hour or so with bits of gingham and calico, while the old Dutch clock in the chimney blazed up with his hands before his face, for it always reached a family row. Now mind, I am telling you what the old Dutch duck declares is true. The Chinese plant looked very blue, and well, oh dear, what shall we do? But the gingham dog and the calico cat bellowed that sway and rumbled that, employing every tooth and claw in the awfulest way you ever saw. And how the gingham and calico flew. Don't fancy I exaggerate. I got my views from the Chinese plate. Next morning, where the two had sat, they found no trace of the dog or the cat, and some folks think unto this day that burglars stole the pair away. But the truth about the cat and the pup is this: they ate each other up. Now, what do you really think of that? The old Dutch clock is told me so, and that is how I came to know the boy who never told a lie. Once there was a little boy who curly hair and pleasant eye, a boy who always told the truth and never told a lie. And when he told it off to school, and the children all about would cry, there goes a curly-headed boy, the boy that never tells a lie. And everybody loved him so, because he always told the truth, that every day as he grew up it was said, there goes the honest youth. And when the people that stood near would turn to ask the reason why, the answer would be always this: because he never tells a lie. Love between brothers and sisters. Whatever brawls disturb the street, there would be peace at home. Where sisters dwell and brothers meet, quarrels should never come. Boys and their little nets agree, and it is a shameful sight when children of one family fall out and chide and fight. The Bluebell of Scotland. Oh, where is your Highland lady gone? He's gone to fight avenge for King George upon the throne, and it's, in my heart, how I wish him safe at home. Oh, where, Does your Highland lady dwell? He dwells in the Mary Scotland at the sign of the Blue Bell, and it's all in my heart that I love my daddy well. If I had but two little wings. If I had but two little wings and were a little feathery bird, to you I would fly, my dear. My thoughts like this are idle things, and I stay here. But in my sleep to you I fly, always with you are in my sleep. The world is all one's own, and then one wakes, and where am I? All alone. A farewell. My fairest child, I have no song to give you, no laugh we could pipe to a sky so dull and grey, yet ere we part, one lesson I can leave you for every day. Be good, sweet maid, and let who will be clever do noble things, not dream them all day long, and so make life, death, and that vast forever one grand sweet song. Casablanca. The boy stood on the burning deck, whence all but him and flame, the flame that lit the battle's wrecks shone round him over the head. Yet beautiful and bright he stood, as born to rule the storm, the creature of heroic blood, a proud through childlike form the flames rolled on. He would not go without his father's word, that father's faint in death below. His voice no longer heard. He called it loud, "Save, father, save I, if yet my task is done." He knew not that the chieftain lay unconscious of his son. "Speak, father," once again he cried, "if I may yet be gone." But the booming shots replied, and fast the flames rolled on. Upon his brow he felt his breath, and in his waving hair, and looked from that lone post of death in still yet brave to despair. And should but once more allowed, my father must stay while over them him fast. Through sail and shroud the writhing fires made way. They wrapped the ship in splendor while they caught the flag on high, and streamed above the gallant child like banners in the sky. Then came a burst of thunder sound. The boy, oh, where was he? Asked of the wind that far around with fragments strew the sea. With Mars and Haim and Pedon fair that well had borne their part, but the noblest thing that perished there was that young, faithful heart, the captain's daughter. We were crowded in the cabin, not a soul could dare to sleep. It was midnight on the waters, and a storm was on the deep. It is a fearful thing in winter to be shattered by the blast, and to hear the rattling trumpet, thunder cut off with Mars. So we shuddered there in silence, and the stoutest held his breath, while the hungry sea was roaring, and the breakers talked with death. As thus we sat in darkness, each one busy with his prayers. "We are lost," the captain shouted as he staggered down the stairs. But his little daughter whispered as she took his icy hand, "Isn't God upon the ocean just the same as He's on the land?" Then he kissed the little maiden, and we spoke in better cheer, and we anchored safe in harbor when the morn was shining clear. The village blacksmith. Under a spreading chestnut tree, the village smithy stands. The smith, a mighty man is he, with large and sinewy hands, and the muzzle of his brawny arms as strong as iron hands. His hair is crisp and black and long, his face is like a tan, his brow is wet with honest sweat. He earns whatever he can, and looks the whole world in the face, and he owes not any man. Week in, week out, from morn till night, you can hear his bellows blow. You can hear him swing his heavy sledge with measured beat and slow, like a sexton ringing the village bell when the evening sun is low, and the children coming home from school look in at the open door. They love to see the flaming forge and hear the bellows roar, and catch the burning sparks that fly like chaff from the threshing floor. He goes on Sunday to the church and sits among his boys. He hears the parson pray and preach. He hears his daughter's voice singing in the village choir, and it makes his heart rejoice. It sounds to him like the mother's voice singing in paradise. He needs must think of her once more, how in the grave she lies. And with this his hard, rough hand, he wipes a tear out of his eyes. Toiling, rejoicing, sorrowing, onward through life he goes. Each morning sees some task begin. Each evening sees his clothes, something attempted, something done. He's earned a night's repose. Thanks to thee, my worthy friend, for the lesson that thou hast taught. Thus at the flaming forge of life our fortune must be wrought. Thus on his sounding anvil shaped each burning deed and thought. Sweet and low. Sweet and low, sweet and low, wind of the western sea, low, breath and blow, wind of the western sea. Over the rolling waters go, come from the dropping moon and blow him again to me, while my little one, while my pretty one sleeps. Sleep and rest, Father will come to thee soon. Rest, O mother's breast, Father will come to thee soon. Father will come to his babe in the nest, silver cells all out of the west, under the silver moon. Sleep, my little one, sleep, my pretty one, sleep. The violet. And down in a green and shady bed, a modest violet grew. Its stalk was bent, it hung its head as if to hide from view, and yet it was a lovely flower, no colours bright and fair. It might have graced a rosy bower instead of hiding there. Yet it was content to bloom and modest and serene, and yet diffuse its sweet perfume within the silent shade. Then let me to the valley go, this pretty flower to see, that I may also learn to grow in sweet humility. Rainbow. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So it was when my life began, so it is now. I am a man, so be it. When I shall grow old or let me die, the child is the father of the man, and I should wish my days to be bound each to each by natural pity. A visit from St. Nicholas. It was a night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Amma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out in the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew with a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon in the breast of the new fallen snow gave the lustre of midday to objects below, when, what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his curses they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen. Oh, come, oh Cupid, oh Dancer and Princeline, to the top of the post, to the top of the wall. Now dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the house, atop the curses they flew, with a sleeve full of toys at the St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof a branching and the pawing of each little hoof, as I grew in my head and was turning around down the chimney. St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of the toys he had flung on his neck, and he looked like a peddler just opening his bag. His eyes, how they twinkled with dimples, how merry! His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a ball full of jelly. He was chubby and plump and drink right jolly old Evan, and laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me, I know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings that turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, and his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like a down on a whistle. But I heard him exclaim to his drove out of sight. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the rampers we watched words so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does the star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, that show dimly seen through the mist of the deep, where the foe's haughty host is dread. In dread silence reposes. What is that which is the breeze over the towering steep? As it fitfully blows, now conceals, now discloses, now it catches the gleam of the morning first beam at full glory reflected, not shines on the stream. It is the star-spangled banner, oh long made wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. And where is that band who so wantingly so that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion of home and the country should leave us no more? Their blood was washed us out, their foul footstep pollution no refuge could have. The high log and slave from the terror of the flight or the gloom of the grave, and the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, this be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace. May the heaven rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, for our cause is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Wow, wow, wow. Father William. Your old Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain, but now what? That I'm perfectly sure I have none. Why, I do it again and again. Your old said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason for that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple, but the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box, allowed me to sell you a couple. You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything together than sweat. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my mouth, said the father. I took to the law and argued each case with my wife, and the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. One could hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever, yet you balance an eel on the end of the nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself air. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs. Wagru, 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 wagru. Wagru, 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 wagru. Waheguru, waheguru, waheguru ji. Satanam, satanam, satanam ji. Satanam, satanam, satanam ji. Sri waheguru, waheguru, waheguru. Love you, God. Love you, 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 love you.